Good morning. This is Morning Real, hosted by Ray Salazar. If I see it, I review it. And that is a loud car going through this block right now. Anyways, sounds like that don't make me depressed. But there are movies that pretty much kind of get you in the place of like, man, I'm depressive, but I'm not that depressive. Anyways, I want to talk about it's a this film. It's a pretty good film, man. It's by Lars von Trier. He's a very controversial filmmaker. Not necessarily. Well, yeah, you know what? It is some of the films. Some of the films that he does are like really extreme. Some of it are very violent, and it just kind of goes into violence. But outside of the camera, outside of the set, the man himself, he's a very controversial figure because he be saying some outlandish stuff about stuff, like you have to like research about this guy to know. But honestly, as a filmmaker, I love his work. He's a really great storyteller, a very unique storyteller. You won't see this guy making a Hollywood film ever or close to one. But he has worked with actors, both men and female, who made Hollywood films. So imagine a Hollywood star, you know what? I want to work with Lars von Trier, or hey, this guy wants to work with me. And man, that person's agent must be like, are you sure? And they're like, hell yeah, why not, dude? You only live once. But anyways, Lars von Trier gives you films that actually are memorable. Like you remember it. Like this film, Melancholia, came out in 2011. It's a science fiction drama film that was written and directed by Lars von Trier, produced by Meta Louise Foldager and Louise Best, starring Kirsten Dunst, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Alexander Skarsgård, Brady Colbert, Cameron Spur, Charlotte Rampling, Jesper Christensen, John Hurt, Stellan Skarsgård, Uros Kier, whoop whoop, and Kiefer Sutherland, who, played the dude. Man, you know the dude from 24, but not only that, he voiced Big Boss. Hell yeah, Big Boss. Shout out to Big Boss. Cinematography, Manuel Alberto Claro. Edited by Molly Mullane Stansgard. And there's a lot of production companies that honestly, I don't even want to name them all, but I'll name the most important ones that I've seen. Canal Plus, Nordisk Film, Swedish Film Institute, and Zentropa Entertainments. Yes, has an S. This film came out in 2011. And between 2011 and now, I have seen it a handful of times. I really enjoy this film because this film is about the end of the world. It's about a rogue planet named Melancholia, or at least that's what they name it in the film. It's a planet that's behind this star or this moon or whatever, but basically it's behind the sun, right? From Earth. And I'm sorry, Seftone, I know space is fake, but in this film, we just gotta believe it's real, okay? Can you just be on my side on this one, dude? Anyways, so the planet it's so hard. It's not hard to explain. It's just like there's a thing in the film about this planet where in astrology or astronomy, it is known that a planet like this, it makes a dance, right? It's called the dance of death, where it like goes around the sun, loops, and somehow goes so close to Earth that obviously by being so close to it messes with the gravitational pull, messes with, everything that Earth is and operates, right? Like all of a sudden you'll see a change in temperature, a change in changes of oxygen levels and all that stuff. The wind's going crazy. The animals are going nuts. Some of them are running away from where they're at, but it's like, dude, the whole planet is being affected. And this is one of these films where it's an end of the world film where it only focuses on the characters and not like humanity's sake, right? But like, we know that it's affecting humanity, but let's just focus on these characters here. But anyways, it does this loop around the Earth, goes close to it, and then like just shoots like in another direction. But there is a twist in the film where it loops, but it comes back and is heading straight to Earth, and you can see it. And you don't need a telescope to see it. You can like see it from the naked eye, and it's big, right? You can tell that it's big, and you can tell that it's bigger than Earth just by the size, the proportion levels and all that stuff. Again, Steph Tone, I love you, man. It's a film. It's a film, but it's a great film, and the science is kind of there. But anyways, as this all is going on, there's a woman, right, played by Kirsten Dunst. She's getting married. From the first act, you can already tell who the characters are, who Kirsten Dunst's character is, and who Charlotte Gainsbourg's character is, and their sisters. You can tell Gainsbourg's character. Kirsten Dunst plays Justine. Charlotte Gainsbourg plays Claire. They're sisters. Justine's very depressive. She's a person who she lets people kind of dictate her life, dictate who she is, I guess, and it puts her in a very depressive state of mind where, to a point, she can't even eat. She can't even get out of bed. Like, it just like weighs so much on her. And Charlotte, she's more of an anxious type, more of a like, oh shit, things need to be good, things need to be balanced out, right? But like, you got a planet coming. Justine sees it, notices it, and knows for a fact that the world's gonna end. It's gonna crash into us, and that's that. And Claire cannot stand that. She cannot accept it. Like, throughout the whole film, she does everything as she would normally do on any other day, right? And Justine, for the first time ever, isn't that depressed. Actually, she accepts it. She accepts the end at no ease. But like, there's a way that she accepts it where I can't explain the scenes in the film too much because it really gives away as to why Justine is the way she is, and why she changes in the film. And her philosophy is pretty simple, man. Like, hey, man, like, we live in this earth, right? We all occupy it. Is it our home, really? Is it really our home? Especially the way that we destroyed it or are destroying it. We're destroying our own humanity. We have wars. We got famine. We got food that grows at a rate that like it's unexplainable to somebody from like the hunters gatherers era. Like what? Like an avocado can grow that big? A watermelon can grow that big? Like we modified the hell out of this place. And you know what? The earth is just there and the planet's coming and the earth don't give a fuck. It's just gonna like react to how the planet is giving it to earth, man. And I personally love it, man. It's like a nihilism almost. And von Trier is like that, man. He's a nihilist in this film. Like, the characters in his films are like very like maverick. Like, they don't give a fuck. They believe what they believe in, whether it's good to us or bad to us. Like, they have a stand and they stand for it. And there's a struggle in these characters as they change. And it's all apparent in a lot of his films, especially in Antichrist, which, gotta see that fucking movie if you haven't, man. This movie, Antichrist, man, honestly, I bow down to that film. It is great. But anyways, coming back to Melancholia, right? Justine says, you know what? Like, we live in this world. The world doesn't owe us anything. Earth doesn't owe us anything. We like crapped on this earth and fuck it. This is what it is. And she's just like celebrating the last moments of life, but not in a over exaggerated celebratory way, but more of like just living life with complete ease and accepting the planet that's coming onto them, literally, and it's the most welcoming thing ever. Poor Claire, though, she loses her husband because that guy's as a hobby, he's an astronomer or whatnot, like he likes to see stars with this telescope because where he lives, like, you can see the stars at night, and they look beautiful, right? So he's all into that stuff, all into astronomy, and he himself starts to freak out when he knows for sure that this is not normal, And I'm trying not to freak out, but in the inside, I am freaking the hell out right now. And he freaks out, dude, to the point where I can't even say what happens, but Claire is just heartbroken by it, and she's just doing her best to keep everything normal up until the last second, and it's beautiful. I will give this film honestly a 4 out of 4 tokes. It's really a great film. It's a tour de force. It doesn't hold back. All the characters in the film are great, man. The actors who play them up to a T. Even Justine and Claire's mom, man, she's like the mother-in-law you would never want to have, you know. But like Alexander Skarsgård, you know, he loves Justine enough to kind of like bear with it, right? You know, but you know, it's not like he's marrying her. He's marrying Justine. But yeah, man, that mom, goddamn, like, is partially probably the reason why Justine is the way she is, man. Like, she never got that maternal support. And I think for a person like Justine, that's pretty much what she needed the most. And obviously her sister can't really help out because she has her own problems, her own like mental health issues, you know? Like, that plays a big part of like the people that you mess with, man. Is there a moral to this story, to this film? There is, really. And it's like you got to accept life as what it is, you know? And if you're able to, you know, increase the value of your life, do it. You know, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you need another planet on its way to crash onto our planet to pretty much kind of change, like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should like do things different. And that's what I got from the film, man. Like, I can't really put nothing else on it as to what the moral of it is, you know, because there's just things that are like beyond us, you know, beyond our control. And we all think that we have like the absolute control, and we do have most of it, but not all of it. And when you think that you can do it all, when you really can't, then you know you gotta like kind of do something about that. Even if a planet is crashing into you, man, like, it's kind of good to have a like a you know, a peace of mind of sorts. 4 out of 4 tokes, Lars von Trier. This film's from a trilogy called the Depression Trilogy. The first one being Antichrist or Antichrist. This one, Melancholia, and Nymphomaniac Parts 1 and 2. Yes, a 2-parter film, and each part is 2 hours long. So you're literally looking at a 4-hour plus film. And I've seen Nymphomaniac once, both parts, and man, it's a tough film to watch, really. It's very adult, very explicit, and it's twisted, man. It's coming from Lars von Trier. Like, he's like putting sex out there, and yeah, I don't want to go more about it because I would have to watch it again, and it's a tough watch because it's not like, oh my god, somebody dies, somebody gets raped. No, it's nothing like that, man. It's just the subject matter and the human condition, and boom, that's the one thing about von Trier. He loves to inspect the human condition of people. He himself is a depressive case, which my salute to him, really, because like, man, I don't know how a person who deals with depression, you know, on the daily or whatnot, could make a film and an engaging film for people to talk about, for critics to talk about. I mean, this film has won awards, especially at Cannes. Who would have thought a guy who has a shirt that says persona non grata could be on that fucking stage? You know what I mean? So in that regard, shout out to Lars von Trier's work. Follow me, Morning Shot Films, IG and YouTube. Check out my website, morningshotfilms.co. On to the next one. Thank you.